This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in Brighton, Colorado. I am here at House of WRAPZ. Since 2020, this owner-operated company continues to make a name in the car protection and customization industry. I'm joined here with Steve DeLeon. Steve, thanks for joining us here. Let's start a little bit about yourself. You began the company in 2020, pretty much a year when a lot of people decided to follow their vision, their dream, right? Yeah. But you've been doing this for quite a few years beyond that.
Yeah.
Share with me a little bit how this got started for you.
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy thing how it started. It was about 9 years ago. It was just basically from being cheap. Necessarily, I had a car at the time and I wanted to do stuff on my own. As soon as you get your first car, you want to, customize it, make it your own, stand out. That's exactly what I wanted to do. But the pieces that I wanted to add were kind of expensive. I didn't have $500-600 to do what I wanted. So I picked up a roll of vinyl that was, I think, like $30 off eBay. I started from there, and then it worked on the bigger pieces, a hood, a roof, next thing you know, a full car. And then it just started rolling after that. So, it was on and off for a few years, and then I hit it really heavy, about a year and a half ago, 2 years almost. And it's been going good so far.
That is an excellent story. Let me ask you this. Obviously, the investment that we make in our automobile is only second to a home, really. The people that walk through your doors there, do they understand the value of protecting that investment as well as even increasing that investment?
Yes, most people do. Most people that come in here, they understand that it's not a need, it's a want, and it helps them decide what they want to do. And then I just help them through that to, guide them in what's needed for sure, and then what else we can add to make it, their own as well.
For many years, the only option people had out there was really paint. And honestly, I would have to say paint is pretty costly and takes a lot of time. And it's kind of limited in many ways. Is that something you've found with a lot of people that come in?
Oh, yes. They realize, you can save over, anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000 just from compared to a paint job to a vinyl wrap. Nothing can really beat paint. We're not here to say, hey, vinyl's better than paint. But when you're a person that goes through cars, a lot of people only keep them for 2 to 3 years on average. Vinyl wrap is perfect because it's 3 to 5 year lifespan, and then even if you want to go past that, you still can, and then still have the option to change it, and then not pay another, say, $10,000 just to remove it and get everything, repainted again.
That is interesting. We began seeing vinyl wraps way back in the 50s, really. But now we fast forward to 2020, we're looking at, this is pretty mainstream. I drive around I-25, I see a lot of these cars out there. Let me ask you this. For the viewers out there that don't even know what vinyl is, some people don't even realize what it's done here. Define what a vinyl wrap is for the viewers out there.
For a basic term, you can just say it's a big sticker. It literally goes over your paint. It doesn't harm anything under it, as long as your paint is good. It just gets you, as much coverage as possible, as much as we can get it to do.
Vinyl itself, they say it's pretty hard wearing. It's flexible, basically. Is that something that doesn't scratch too easy, and obviously good protectant?
Depends on the brand, but it is resistant to scratches, or if you do scratch it, some brands, if you scratch it with like a wire brush, you can heat it up and the scratches will go away. Paint protection film Clear Bra is exactly like that. It's just between the two, vinyl is a little thinner than the actual Clear Bra itself. You'll get more protection through the Clear Bra, but the vinyl does the exact same thing. So say I've had a few customers get their car wrapped the same color it's already painted.
Oh, interesting.
Just one, they wanted to protect it. And there's a difference in pricing for Clear Bra and vinyl as well. We can do a full Clear Bra for, say, one price, but Clear Bra, since you pay for the warranty, it costs, a lot more. So a lot of people will just go ahead and vinyl wrap it, even though it's the same color. And yeah.
Like we said before, paint, it's somewhat limited. When vinyl, we're talking about the sky's the limit. If you can dream this, you can pretty much do it. Share with me a little bit of some of the colors you're able to provide, as well as even textures.
There's hundreds of colors. When I get messages all day, they ask me, how much for this wrap? Well, that's a very vague question, because I'll ask them, well, what color do you want? what size is your vehicle? And then they'll be like, well, what colors do you have?
Oh,
well, there it goes. One time I grabbed all my swatch books, and it's literally like this, and I showed them like a sandwich, and I was like, here, if you want to, come check them out. But it ranges from flat colors, you got gloss colors, you got satin colors. This one is a satin chrome, so it looks a little bit shinier than a regular satin does. You have matte, and then you can also get thicker vinyls they actually have, they feel like, how do you say it? Like bed liner, really thick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can wrap with that. It's not so fun to work with, but it does change the look. And they're making so many different ones that it's like you can't do that with paint. It's just a whole nother level.
That is interesting. So we're talking about different textures, styles, finishes, flat, matte, you name it, glossy. I mean, some of these glossy look just like paint. I mean, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I see the word carbon. What is that? What is the carbon finish?
Carbon finish is just like you get those aftermarket parts that have the carbon fiber. It has a built-in weave, and basically, it's just a lighter material. A lot of people go carbon because one, they like the look of it, but also because you can get carbon parts and they're like half the weight of a normal part. So you're allowed to go faster, blah, blah, blah. We can go into that all day. But a lot of people don't want to pay that extra money. Say a carbon hood for this would be anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000. We can wrap that in the carbon finish for like $400 or $500. So one, you get the look of it, which most people want. They don't really care about the weight savings. They just want the look and to say to people, hey, I have carbon fiber. So we can do that. Just lay it on those pieces you want, and you're saving, a ton of money. Yeah.
A ton of money. Let's walk the viewers out there through the process of how this is done. And we're showing them on the screen, your guys doing what they do. Tell me a little bit about the facility here and how you're able to go through that process.
So yeah, when we first get the car, we ask for people to just drop them off. They don't have to wash it. They don't have to do anything specific to it. Just, hey, let us know if there's any issues with the car that we need to watch for. Especially if it's an older vehicle, some things are, glued together or snapped in different places, have screws. We just ask for all that beforehand. We bring it in here, we wash it, clay bar it, then we get it over to the station to wrap. And then next thing you know, we're either clay barring it just to make sure everything's smooth, and then just going to the process of taking everything apart, as far as headlights, taillights, mirrors, bumpers, if we need to. Some things aren't always needed to be taken off. Sometimes we could just loosen them and get the vinyl in there far enough. And then next thing you know, we're doing each part of the vehicle one by one. You don't want to do it the full vehicle at once, because you want to get in the cracks and go behind it. If you do it all in one piece, you're not leaving enough to fold around the edges. So we'll do each panel one by one. And yeah.
That is interesting. I mean, obviously we've educated the folks out there what vinyl is. What about people who want to really maybe just kick up the look of their existing paint? Share with me, I see a lot about ceramic coating. What is that? Ceramic
coating is just a barrier that keeps the paint safe from the outside elements, because a lot of people, not everybody has a garage. You can't keep it in there. So it helps keep the paint, protected. When you take it to those car washes and stuff, those aren't really so good for paint. They give you a lot of swirls. If it's ceramic coated, that really helps. We still tell people not to go through those. We'd rather you wash by hand and do all that stuff manually. So most of the time, it's just like that extra barrier. And it's also water repellent as well. And then, so if you have it on there, it just beads right off. Same thing with bugs, especially for the front end. All the bugs will just come right off a lot easier. So it's a lot less maintenance, so you can help keep your car cleaner.
Can that coating be done on the vinyl as well as paint?
Yes, there's a specific coating for vinyl. You can use the one for paint on vinyl, but that hurts the process of removing it later, because it's so thick that when you go to try and remove the vinyl, it just chips up. It can still be removed, but it's not fun.
But you can get coated on the vinyl or the paint, either one. That's something you guys do. Obviously, it not only makes your car look great, shines it up, but also obviously protects it. This is kind of nice for somebody maybe who has a nice paint job. They're not trying to cover something up, but they have a nice paint job. They want a different color, and yet take it off when they resell it. They protected that paint. Protection is something that is kind of a side benefit of not only just looking great.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me ask you this. Obviously, you've got a new wrap, maybe, possibly a new coat. we still have 1/3 of our car showing, and that's the windows. Okay, share with me how you're able to help finish off that look and what you're able to provide when it comes to windows.
Yeah, we offer 3 levels of tint. You know, we have regular dyed film, which is most option. People just want it for looks. You know, I tell people if you want that heat rejection, we have ceramic. We also offer carbon, which has a lifetime warranty. The ceramic is just another way of just adding a barrier, the same thing as paint in a way. It adds a barrier in between the window, you, and from the outside. So then it absorbs all that heat and blocks it and reflects it the other way. So basically, you know, there's so many different ceramics out there, but the one we use, it blocks like 70%, 76% of IR. So a lot of that heat that's coming in will stay out and it'll keep it a lot cooler in there. But for most people, they just settle for the dyed film. They just want it for looks. They just want their windows darker, and that's perfectly fine as well. They both last just as long. Just one has a benefit for the heat, one has just a benefit for looks, and it blocks the glare a little bit.
That's interesting. So basically, when it comes to the tint percentage, I mean, that kind of depends if you're doing the front windshield sides or whatever. I've even seen people doing their headlights. Is that something that's getting pretty popular as well?
Yeah, headlights and taillights are something that people have been doing for a while. The vinyl wasn't part of it until the past few years, but they're using spray paint or getting them painted. That's another option. And what people like about the vinyl is if it's too dark, you don't like it, it literally peels right off. You don't have to, with paint, you'd have to go ahead and get lacquer or sand it off and do all kinds of other stuff, and it's just a ton more work.
That is excellent. Obviously, your specialty here in your shop is automobiles. Any type of automobile you can take care of. When it comes to window tinting and things like that, are you able to go into the home, though, if somebody actually wanted a window done or in their business?
Yes, definitely. So we offer, you know, the same levels of tint as we do for cars, the opposite as we do for house windows as well. So we have regular film, we have ceramic, we also do privacy glasses, or the privacy tint for glass as well. And most of the time, you know, it's just those main windows that people want to get in their home that like the sun blares right through, you know, into the living room or to the guests, their office or anything like that. Those are the main windows we do. And you know, if you want to add a little bit of privacy, it goes a long ways just for that little bit. Brand new for 2021, we actually just started doing commercial and design wraps. So if you want anything wrapped on your car that you want a business on, you want your construction vehicles, box trucks, anything, we can put your logo, your name, anything that you want on it. So, yeah.
That is interesting. If someone out there wants to get a work like this done, they want an estimate from you, do they need to bring the car in, or is that something they can call over the phone, give you the make and model? How does it work when they decide they want to get this product done?
Yeah, so most of the time over the phone or through email or anything like that is perfectly fine. It's when I want them to come in when there's issues with the car, like say they need body work done or some dents pulled out or dents that are questionable that they think they might need pulled out. So basically when there's issues like that, go ahead and come on in. It literally takes like 10 minutes. And then you can also look at the colors in person, which I try and tell people to do anyways. It's better to look at a color in person, take it outside, look in the sun, than me sending you a picture, because then you're only seeing one end of it and it doesn't look as good as, sometimes it doesn't look as good as it does in person, or the total opposite. You're not really into it when you see it in person. So most of the time, yeah, it's always better to come in person, but over the phone is perfectly fine.
You got it. Obviously, this is a passion that began for you really from a personal need, from a guy who was trying to do something for himself, make it affordable. Is that still important for you to create a quality product, quality service, but at the same time, making it affordable out there for people?
Yes, definitely. So we try and stay, you know, as not necessarily cheap, but we're trying to keep our prices down compared to other shops. We're not trying to beat out anybody. We're just trying to, you know, come from where we came from and give people that opportunity to be able to afford something with, you know, doing stuff with their cars. Especially the average age that we have coming here is anywhere from 18 to like 24. Right. So a lot of those kids are just kind of, you know, barely getting out into the world.
Sure.
You know, they want to be doing all this stuff to their car, but they always can't. So, we try and help them out while, helping ourselves out
Something
as
you
well.
can relate with pretty well.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You know what it's like to be out there and want something cool like
Exactly.
that. Obviously, an automobile is a reflection of who we are. It's very personal. It tells a lot about who we are. I mean, basically, we want something that's going to turn some heads many times, something we're going to be proud of. Obviously, you and your team are proud of the work they do here. Is it rewarding for you as you see some of these cars pull out of here and read some of the reviews of how you've been able to help people?
Yeah. So how I feel about that, it's what gets me anxious towards the end. I almost like double, triple check the car before somebody comes, just because I want their reaction to be just as good as mine sometimes. And most of the time when they come in, I open that garage door, seeing their face is something that makes me happy, makes me want to keep doing this, you know what I mean? Even though sometimes the cars are super hard. Some bumpers are really not fun to work with, stuff like that. But when people want stuff done and then you see their reaction after, it just makes you want to just keep going and doing it for other people.
Absolutely. Puts food on your table, but at the end of the day for you, you're just excited as them when they see it, that wow factor. Viewers, let's take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is basically their contact information. Check them out right here in Brighton. They're basically able to serve this entire northern area here, but if you want to drive up from Denver, come on up, bring your car, and basically they'll take care of it. We're talking about vinyl wraps. Unlimited possibilities, I should say. And basically come on down. This is a brand new business, but this is a gentleman that has years of experience doing this for himself. Check out their Facebook page. You're going to see a lot of the images there, and we've been showing them as well. Once again, that is House of Wraps, located right here in Brighton, Colorado. This is Gary Atencio for CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.